We're going to begin with our October 5th meeting, October 5th meeting. Okay, let's have a pledge to the flag. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Made it through September, and now we're in October, and Kelly's looking forward to the election in November, right? Okay, well, with that, I guess we'll have a roll call.
All right, Mark Foltz.
Present.
Mark Frazier.
Here.
Francis Griffith. Here. Kelly Schmidt's here, and Troy Carmely will be here soon.
Okay.
All right.
Okay. Next, we got the agenda, Kelly. We want to add unfinished business, AMAR, that's AMAR update, unfinished business.
What about this paperwork for the parking lot? Do you want to talk about that too?
We've already paid the bill. I mean, yeah, we can talk about parking.
Okay.
Yeah, parking.
So that's the other
Sure.
unfinished business.
You want to talk about the fence out there around the air conditioning unit?
Okay.
Oh, okay.
You want to put that under new business?
We'll just do
Yeah.
parking lot. Oh, new business,
Parking lot,
air conditioning,
AC corral,
enclosure.
Okay.
Putting that under new or unfinished? That's
New.
unfinished.
New business would be the last item. All right. And we're gonna have Eric at Bex Propane under the first public comment section. Oh, I guess it would be the second when Troy gets here, so it'd be the second public comment section. Kelly,
We can't hold the,
say your last name, Eric.
Arbanis.
A-R-B-A-N-A-S.
A-N-A-S.
related to Seth.
It's my son.
Okay, I'm on the CESA board too.
Oh, okay.
Okay, Eric. Okay.
all right.
All set with that? Do we have a motion to approve the agenda as amended?
Sure.
Mark?
Second.
Butch will second that, okay. We should have our
All
September,
in favor?
all in favor, please say aye.
Aye.
Okay. Regular meeting minutes, September 7th. Oh yeah, that's when we had 47 people here.
Motion to approve.
Okay,
Second.
all right. Perfect. Motion been made, approved, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Okay, motion carried.
We gotta hold the IFT till Troy
Yes,
gets here,
that's
right?
right.
Yeah, yes, he's gonna comment on that one, we'll put that when he gets here. All right, public comment, oh, yes, Tom.
Well, I guess I'll just go on
Yes.
record at this point to let the board officially know that inasmuch as I won the primary for county commissioner, that being township attorney would put me in an incompatible situation. So I will be tendering a letter of resignation as township attorney
Mid-November.
within the next
Yeah.
month.
Perfect.
Are you gonna date that for the end of the year, so we got a little time to?
I will date it, whatever's convenient. I can do it the end of the year. My thought was, in the unlikely event that there was litigation or controversy between the county and the township in the interim period, I'd have to recuse myself at that point. But I can function, and I'll try, would be no later than the end of this year.
Well, that would be fine. That gives us a little bit of time to find somebody.
Well, and that's what I thought. You're gonna need some time. I'm pleased that the supervisors indicated that you have made some contacts and anything I can do to help you in that regard, I'll just let me know if you want me to talk to somebody. Frankly, this board conducts your business so well that I've had very little to do. I don't think I've had to attend a meeting, at all this year, and for quite a bit of the year before that. So And that was always a pleasure for me to know that you conducted yourselves so well. And I've enjoyed being a township attorney and working with y'all. And so I wish you good luck in that. But, and as I say, I'll get a letter together and I'll just work with Mark. We'll see how your search goes.
Probably the reason you've had such good rapport with us is what works so well is you know, Kelly being a nurse, you know, she gives me these medicine that takes care, it puts me in a very even keel, and I'm able to handle things much better.
We appreciate everything you've done for us. You've always been there when we needed you.
Yes, you
Do we
have.
have a
Yes.
25th Amendment at the township level?
We're trying to drag it
No.
out.
So anyway,
Sail on
Dan,
board, come
it's been my pleasure too.
Yeah.
And,
Well, everywhere I go, you're, and I speak highly of you, and I know Justin talked to you this week. And,
Yes, yes, he did.
he's, yeah.
And frankly, I'll probably be seeing more of you as county commissioner than I did as your attorney. So
Very true. And when you
I'll
come-
be here
When
regularly.
you come for our meetings update, usually, you know, you'll give us an update when you go to Woodhall, because
Yeah.
they're a lot longer meetings
Yes.
over there. So,
Well, thank you.
thanks, Tom.
Yeah.
Great, appreciate all that you have done for us. One thing Tom did was always kept on all the rules of the MTA. When things changed, he was on top of it. So it was always nice to be able to call him and have a quick answer. And that's very helpful, very helpful. Okay. Any more public comments yet?
We're gonna do,
Either later, things.
oh, this is Spartan thing? No, this is,
No, this is Eric.
I know.
We're gonna do him later, because Troy needs.
Oh, right.
So we're gonna do sheriff's, can't do sheriff's report.
Yes, we can.
Sure we
Oh,
can.
we can, Kelly.
Sure, why not?
Kelly can do the sheriff's report.
So, sheriff's report for September, there were 41 traffic stops and 133 total calls for the township.
Okay.
I did not get a report for Sessa though.
Really?
So I don't know what that,
What's a 911 hang-up? What's that mean?
somebody called 911 and hung up.
Really?
So do you want the call numbers? Is that what you want?
Yeah.
All right, do someplace here.
Okay. Mark, you go to CSIP or?
Yeah. We, the major thing that happened at the last board meeting for that was we approved the budget for next year, but we are not taking in as much income as costs are rising.
Oh,
And so for that reason, we are probably gonna write a letter to all the people that we
sir.
contract with and serve. We have two choices here. We can ask for a raise in the household rate, you know, the rooftop fee as we called it. Or we can consider starting to charge for lift assists and those kind of things. The problem with that tact is that they can't turn it into their insurance usually unless there's treatment involved. And it normally hits people on fixed incomes and lesser income people hardest, you know, and which was something back when CESA was formed. It was formed and it was asked to try to help the community as much as possible. So I'll be coming back at a later meeting more to discuss this. And I'm going to be honest with you, it's a good possibility that we're going to have to look at a small increase every year for a while.
Makes sense.
You know,
The cost of everything.
equipment and stuff is doubled, fuel's doubled. Of course, wages have gone up considerably with the, you know, with the bringing the union involved, and that was to be expected. And retirement and health insurance has jumped dramatically, and So,
You're not painting a very pretty picture.
well, it's just, it's,
Is it a pension plan?
yeah, we do have,
That might need to be looked at.
it's in the contract,
How long is the contract for?
3 years.
That may need to be looked at.
I agree with you, but it's in the contract.
Well,
We can't,
At the 3-year mark, I
Yeah.
would look at that.
yep, because
Because
MERS
it's
has
very,
become,
very expensive.
MERS has become very expensive.
Yeah, it
Yes.
is, it is.
So, and anyway, the calls for August of 2022, there was 14 fire and 166 ambulance.
How much for the month?
180. And we are full staffed at all the stations and all the
That's good.
ambulances now.
And the ambulances are fine, and you got everything back?
Well, we need to buy another one.
But you had one you were reconditioning?
No, that is not, no, we're not, we need to buy a new one. It's gone from about 150 we paid for the last one to 220 plus.
No, yeah.
So it's, yeah,
Okay.
just those things just happen. It's just how life
Anything else on that one?
is. No, that'll do.
Okay. My DDA will be October, this month, October 19th at 6:30 here. And we have a special guest, the Director of Community Development, the Director of the new credit union will be here to talk, and is looking forward to it. So meeting the DDA and the DA members. So they want to be an impact in the community, and it's nice. The building is nice inside. It's bigger. It looks small on the outside, but inside it's nice. They've got two-teller machine. They've got two-teller. They've got 2 automatic machines. They've got 2 drive-throughs on the outside. 1 drive-through and 2 tellers on the outside. And then there's glass cubicles, 2 of them, and then an office. So it's nice. It's pretty, 2 bathrooms. They put bathrooms in by law. So even though the bathrooms at the pharmacy also have new restrooms at the bank, at the credit union. And
Nice people.
very nice people, yeah. So that was good. So that, our DDA meeting will be at 6:30, and we'll talk more about that a little bit later. Zoning. Okay, we have 1 new house being built on off Lauren Way. It's actually on Beardsley Road, and got a zoning and building permit on that. Hi, Troy. We've got a building permit for 60 by 108 pole barn, pole building, $3,700 on that. And our enforcement activity, there are some people cleaning up areas. Near me, there's one, a couple trailers and stuff coming out of there today. And, that person is still on the list. And then there's another person on Jennifer Drive, which is Clifford Fields. So it's junk and debris. That was the only 2 we had on enforcement last month. Your timing is perfect.
Is it?
Impeccable.
Good.
This is Eric. This is the gentleman with the bags.
I saw the truck.
Yeah, picture that truck. You say you have 2 trucks or 3? The boss.
4.
4 trucks like that. Okay.
They're big trucks, they're the same color.
They are, okay. Very good, with the breast cancer on that and all that, okay. So now that was zoning. John is not here for the county commission. He talked last night at the MTA meeting about parks and recs and park development and stuff like that. Mark on the library.
The only big thing at the library was when they were cleaning out the Perry branch before they did the remodel.
The what?
The Perry branch.
Oh, the Perry branch. I thought you said the cherry branch. I said, "Oh,
Turn the hearing aid. They found papers on microfilm that range from 1890 to 1944.
Oh, that's so cool.
So that's, so she's trying to get them digitized so they won't get just,
This,
go to pots. So that's pretty cool.
It is really cool.
So that's the big thing about the library. Their meeting was so short, my wife was home less than a half hour after she left. I mean, maybe, I couldn't have a
She
15-minute
was at home
meeting.
and helping with chores.
No, we'd already done
Oh,
this.
you already done that. All right. Okay, Mark. Troy, are you ready to talk about the I-69 trade corridor?
Sure, our meeting is next Tuesday. So,
And I don't have to go, do I?
no, I should be.
Oh, great. Okay. Thank you.
No, we haven't met since
It's been a while. 3 months?
June.
June.
So
Okay.
no, nothing to report since last.
Okay, that's easy. SADP, Mark.
Couple things with that, we have taken the young professional group under our wing, so to speak, we get a sponsor. We've got some details to work out on that, but we're trying to help them keep things moving forward. And we received word early today that we have been given a grant to help with writing grants.
Good.
And
Help with
will
grant
help with the cost, and it's gonna be used mostly for governmental grants to keep the costs out. Where right now, we pay part of it.
So
and
this
then
supplements your grant writer, basically supplements the cost of your grant writer.
and staff too, because
Oh,
there's
it's
staff
Okay, well, good.
to do with that, but that was new today. And then at the land bank,
Oh, yeah. That was a meeting Tuesday.
that was Monday, I didn't take
Monday,
that one, I
Monday.
didn't take her to
Yeah.
emergency. We have been, we are in the process of being given 30 properties around the county by the state land bank.
This is new.
Well, we had some conversations with them because some of them are not usable. Some of them are 3 foot wide or 5 foot wide, or one of them's totally underwater, but.
These are properties that when they went up for taxes, the local government rejected it. So
Yeah,
that's the only way the state ends up.
well, there's some of them, there's some good ones. There's the condo properties in Owasso, there's some properties in downtown Lennon, that used to be, some kind of window factory or something.
Okay.
And,
Okay.
there's some decent properties, but we wanted to make sure that we could work something out with landowners next to the 3 foot wide piece or something without being in trouble with the state land bank. And there's a couple pieces that look like they're in the middle of a farmer's operation, right, and maybe in front of his barn, that for some reason he didn't pay taxes on that little chunk. And
Usually there's a reason they go up for taxes. I mean, occasionally there's some good deals, but usually
Yep,
there's a description problem. I would say probably your biggest ones, which the land bank can capture on, is some that has contamination or some sort of problem.
right, or blading. And that brings us to, the land bank is receiving a grant from the state on blighted properties. Now, what that is, in this case, if we have a building somebody has in the township, or even a house, it can't be the people that's let it fall into disrepair. It would have to be somebody new investing in it or something, okay?
Could be if a local government ended up with it for taxes, is that?
Yep, I think so. And it can be used for demo of a piece of property that's so bad, or it can be used for fixing it up.
So asbestos removal and all that.
We're looking to find those properties around the county. And this is something else that's brand new,
That's
that we
expensive.
just found out we got.
There's a few and more as I can think of.
Well, and so we need a list, if anybody knows of anything, we need a list of those properties, and as much as you know about the story of them, and it needs to, it'd be good if I can take them back to the meeting in a couple of weeks, but.
Yeah, because then you could, maybe they would proceed on.
Why don't, I'll make a note to email Karen, the village, about it, but I know the village has one that is I mean, they're starting the condemnation process, you know, there's blight, I mean, it needs to be tore down, and,
It's a perfect one.
Okay,
well, it would be, the idea of this is to then do something productive with it, like build a new house on it, right?
Absolutely.
right, but the caveat strictly is that it can't be to benefit the person that allowed it to get to that point. You know,
Exactly.
that's So that's the,
That's good.
that's the new stuff from the land bank. And the land bank and the brownfield board, of course, are,
The same.
well, they're not the same,
Same membership.
the same membership,
That's
correct?
what I'm saying. Which is good. We got one more to talk about, that's the planning commission.
Planning commission, we just worked on
Master plan.
the master plan, and Beth has done tremendous amount of work on that. And
I did talk to her yesterday, or not today, I actually talked to her today too, she feels they'll be ready for you in the.
yeah, I think she's got it just about where it's gonna come back to the township board to be
Okay.
looked at.
It has to come to us for us to say, okay, then it gets sent out to all the people we sent a notice to plan of, for them to review it for comments, and I think they have 43 days or something like that, and
Yep.
then it comes back to re-reviewed again, and then it's done. So
And we
it'll
don't-
be a winter, spring kind of
Yeah,
project.
and we don't feel the need to have an engineering firm
Talk about this
involved,
now.
No, we don't need to.
because they didn't even do what they were supposed to do.
We've done, it, and it's gonna be a better plan than we've ever paid to have one done.
You got that right.
Okay, board, while we're talking on his area, I had an email yesterday from Low Engineering in Flint, and they have a fall planning topic, 3 topics: solar energy system planning and zoning. Topic 2, you've been elected, tips for the planning commission, and topic 3, Open Meetings Act and electronic communication. It's a 2-hour session on the October, let's see the right date, October
Yes.
19th.
It's those big letters.
It's
Is it
Wednesday.
free?
I called 5 times. I
I mean, it
talked to a
doesn't
lady
say.
who put me over on, and they went blank. I emailed them, and I called them again, so I don't have an answer to that.
I would assume it is, because it doesn't
There's
say.
no price on it, and I had called Beth, and she didn't know about it either. And I said, well, I wondered about it, because I got it yesterday. So anyway, I think since it is, we won't have a meeting before then, we ought to, she knows at least 3 or 4 people that might want to go. So maybe what we ought to do is go ahead and make a motion. I think it might be free, but we could put, to include the cost of, the transportation and the.
Well, it's got to get out to the planning commission.
Well, put some
That's
on
the
for
big-
free.
Right, well, we can get it out to them, that's not a problem, it's just a matter of, we need to prove the fact that they can go.
You wanna just make a cushion of up to a certain amount?
I'll make a motion that we approve up to $50 a person, so if you, it'll be $200.
I'll second it.
Will you second that? Roll call vote, Kelly.
Let's see.
Caught her writing, see.
Mark Foltz,
Yes.
Mark Frazier,
Yes.
Francis Griffith,
Yes.
Kelly Schmidt, yes, Troy Furman.
Yes.
Perfect, okay, back to Troy. We're going to go to this public hearing for Spartan Fence IFT, Troy.
Go ahead and open the public hearing.
I will open the public hearing at what time?
7:24. Okay, so this is a public hearing for renewal of industrial facilities tax exemption certificate for Spartan Fence. So they were originally granted this exemption in 2018 for their new building they built on Bennett Drive. Our policies, of course, we grant these in 2-year increments to verify compliance and to make sure everybody does what they say they're going to do. Spartan Fence has complied with everything. Their investment was about $800,000 in the building and $27,800 in personal property. They've done the jobs they said they were going to do. Based on the criteria in our exemptions, they will be eligible for about 10 years of an exemption. 12 is the max under law, but we have criteria based on investment, jobs created, payment of, payroll, that sort of thing. So this renewal will take them up to 6 years.
Okay.
So,
Okay.
are there any questions from the public or comments?
In a 2-year increment,
In
right?
2-year increments, right? Correct. We only grant them in 2-year increments to make sure everybody stays honest.
Makes sense.
Because they're very hard to revoke, and we've had companies promise all kinds of things and not deliver on them. So.
Okay. Any questions from the board?
No.
Hearing none.
Close the public hearing.
Do we have to
We'll
approve
close
You
the
need-
public hearing. Okay.
7:26.
7:20. Okay.
it? We don't have to approve it?
Yeah. I'll make a motion that we approve the application for Spartan Fences renewal on their IFT for 2 years.
Okay,
Second.
Mark will second it. All in favor?
We need a roll call.
Roll call vote.
Mark Frazier,
Yes.
Francis Griffin,
Yes,
Shelley Schmidt, yes, Craig Parmalee,
Yes.
Mark Holt.
Yes. Okay. Before we go into the financial and the bills, let's talk with Eric here from, he's with a company called,
Bex.
Back.
I'm having a
Bex.
Bex Propane. Woo! That's it, Bex Propane. Oh, Eric, love the truck. Bex Propane. Couldn't come through with it. I don't know why I wouldn't say Bex Propane. Okay, tell us what's going on.
We are looking to, right now, we lease some property about a mile down the road, right there by Joe's Body Shop. And we've got quite a customer base here, and the size tank that we have there is not sufficient for the amount of product we need to store. So we are looking to buy some land to be able to put a bigger storage tank on there. Currently looking at, I think, a 3.68 acre next to the,
He's looking at Danny Thomas's.
Correct.
Yeah.
Yeah, I know.
and
Now, your boss is, what's his name?
his name is Nathan Beck.
Nathan Beck.
Beck.
Of course.
He's the owner of the company, and he wants it to be on 69 just because of the traffic.
Sure.
Um,
Good place to put a sign up and stuff.
Yep. And he's pretty particular on his things looking nice, so wherever would go in there would look very nice. I have some questions. I went to the county. I don't really have much of a help, so they directed me to you. So,
Who did you talk to over there?
We're curious.
What's his name?
so I don't know his name. It was the manager. I talked to the lady that worked there. I can't remember, and I asked if we could, because I know in Clinton County you can pay money to table a special meeting.
Yeah.
And I asked if we could do that with Shiawassee County, and she says, the manager's right here, let me let you talk to
Peter
him.
Preston.
What's his name Pete by chance?
Peter Preston? Pete?
I think so.
Okay, that's who it was.
So I asked him if we could table, I know there's a cost, what's the cost? And he said, we're too busy.
Say what?
He said they were too busy. The workload, they had too big of a workload. So I said, well, is there someone that could help me? And he says, you know what, why don't you go to Perry Township and speak with Mark? And he gave me your number, and I called him.
And that's why I told you.
And here we are.
And that's why,
No, seriously.
Yeah, I mean, we're not, yeah, right, I mean, you've done nothing wrong here. They have done something massively wrong, because they're the authority. We're just a recommending body. I mean,
yeah.
we can't
Do anything.
do anything until,
But that's
Until
okay.
until they talk to you, send the paperwork down to us, goes to the planning commission, they make their recommendation, it comes back to the township board, who makes their recommendation, goes to the county to be decided on, and there's a certain amount of statutory days involved in there.
but nonetheless, you don't just,
No, you
Blow
don't just
them
blow
off.
somebody off,
Yeah.
but that's truly why you need Justin,
Okay,
because he wouldn't have allowed that.
okay. And
You
then
know,
he,
that's-
so just to kind of go over, well, I'll tell you what the process is, and yes, you can contact us, and we will help you to
Absolutely.
move things
Yeah.
along as fast as possible, but, so I believe for a propane storage thing, it requires a special use permit. I'm almost certain of
Yeah.
that. So the procedure with a special use permit, and now, have you purchased this, or you have an offer on it, or?
well, see, and that's the problem, is that we want to put, he wants
Or
to
you
buy
want
it.
to do something condition upon approval?
Yeah, that everything passes, if we buy it, that it will meet all the criteria that you require, the county requires. And so there's talk about getting an exemption, because
We
they're,
were, when Mark came and talked to me after his conversation, I said, they said what?
because
Because we were lost,
their next meeting in the county is not till December 10th.
December.
no, that's not correct.
That's not
It's the end, they meet the 4th Wednesday of
Every month.
Okay, let me back up. October 10th, they're having a meeting, and I have to have a bunch of information for them to discuss, but it won't be till December 10th when they decide on the
That's
information.
because of the time it has to come back here.
Oh, okay.
But
So,
that's not the right date.
The-
It's the county planning commission that approves special use permits, and they meet the fourth Wednesday. It wouldn't be the 10th.
Well, they give you
No, it
wrong
wouldn't be the
information, but still
Wouldn't be
the
the
month and a half or 2 months is because of the time.
It's the 40, it's the 50 days, but I mean, if things moved along, it could have been on the November agenda if they
Yeah,
did it promptly.
yeah.
he said something to the effect of, so that's when he directed me to you, and he says, if they accept it, I'll go with it. So I don't know. I've never been to one of these, so I come here.
It's
Yes.
okay,
to see
Eric.
Well,
No, it's not your fault, not
Yes,
at all.
what you're seeing there, Eric, is government at its best.
Yeah,
Yeah,
no,
I worked-
government not at its
I
best.
worked 29 years at the city of Flint. So 29 years, I made it through all the mayors, okay? And I was 10 feet tall. Look what it took out of me. So you just have to kind of, go with the flow.
Yep.
What Troy's saying is absolutely correct. I mean, there's something over there you need to get. Was there somebody you met with? Who did you meet with?
I just spoke to the lady that worked there. She
Oh,
printed me off this.
So you don't have an application or anything?
I have the Shiawassee County zoning ordinance application to
She didn't
amend.
give you an application for a special use permit?
No. And I told
Let me
her,
go get my book real quick.
I
You
t-
keep talking.
Let Troy get his.
I told her the same, I told her the same thing that I gave you, the, property,
The number.
the number, so she knew what the
Yeah,
parcel was.
yeah, right.
I told her what we were looking to do, and all she did was print this off, give it to me.
Well, Troy, what I suggested to him was that he really needs our piece in front of Dan Thomas's piece to have a good usable.
Well, okay, so yeah, I mean, so what size do you really, where Mark's going is the Township Downtown Development Authority, or did you already talk? Okay.
Sort of, but not really.
So the Township Downtown Development Authority actually has a piece of property right kind of near that. That was a former gas station. It was a contaminated site.
Okay.
So that they've done environmental remediation and stuff on it.
How much did they spend?
Lots,
Lots.
tens of thousands,
Lots of money.
way more than it's worth.
So is this parcel you're talking about, is that directly west of your
Yes.
barber shop and then little
Yeah.
daycare?
Yes.
Yes.
So it's like, the barber you're looking at's an L, and
Yeah.
ours like fills in the L.
Okay.
You know, a square piece.
I say ours, it's our downtown development, it doesn't belong to this board, it belongs to the Downtown Development Authority.
Okay.
But, so anyway, it's about an acre in size, so,
Okay.
but I don't know where you're at in the process, and it doesn't really matter for, that process, but it might be something you
Well,
look at, because what you're doing is one of the uses, it can't be, there's a lot of restrictions on it, because it was a brownfield site. It can't be can't be any sort of a restaurant, it can't be a daycare, it can't be a hotel, can't be anything where anybody lives there, right, because of its past.
So it's a
Yep.
So
perfect.
when you said
Perfect
this,
what we
it's a perfect idea.
Perfect. And that's why I wanted you to come to hear the story
Okay.
of that area that you were talking
do you
about.
have
Because
any idea what the
he's-
value of that piece is? Troy?
Troy's got all the answers, so.
What's the value of it?
There's his
I
name,
mean,
Troy Perlman.
the DDA, the DDA would have
I
to,
don't.
It's on my email.
Okay,
It's
I'll
at the
get,
bottom of my email.
all right,
So you can have your boss call
okay,
if you want to find out. how
But
much
we're
it's
only
worth.
open Tuesdays and Wednesdays.
Tuesday and Wednesdays,
yep,
but I don't know how much it's worth.
So you
I
know
haven't
that.
a clue, but Troy can find that.
well,
It'd be easier than I.
remember the DDA has to decide, and the DDA
well,
has always felt it's worth more than it's really
Oh,
worth,
that's a.
in my
Brian,
opinion.
yeah, Brian.
it'll be me calling you because
But anyway.
that's why I'm here.
So that's
But it
okay.
does give you the
Absolutely.
ability to put something on Lansing Road if you ever want a retail location or
Sure.
or whatever that you don't have in the 60-foot easement. So
And if you and
people
your
would
boss-
have to go back and
Want to-
eventually behind something that's built on that 1 acre piece,
Yeah,
And solve our problem, and your problem too, you'd have a nice, but anyway, our meeting is October 19th at 6:30 right here. If you want, or your boss wants to come and talk to them about it, maybe we can,
16.
they could get that offer in on that.
You said the October 19th.
19th.
October 19th.
19th.
Wednesday, October 19th at 6:30. Yeah, same as that meeting.
So to answer your question, so the procedure for a special use permit is you put in the application, and I think propane tanks require the state fire marshal, don't they sign off or something on yet? But for the zoning ordinance part, for a special use permit, I mean, put in the application, and it has to go to the county. I mean, we can't accept it. I'm very embarrassed that they would have said that, because that's just wrong. That's what that office does. So they put in, and they do a staff review and all that. It then comes to our planning commission for review, and they provide a recommendation, and this board provides a recommendation, and the county planning commission for special use permits has the final say in it.
Okay.
If they had moved quickly on it, I think it could have been worked through the process in time for the county's November meeting. I don't know that it can now, but, yeah.
He could get the application from either Linda.
Absolutely, I mean, get that going, get that
He was only
going.
there 1 or 2 days a week, and the guy that worked under him is gone. So
Yeah, but he talked to a lady there, she should have given him.
she could have.
Yeah, well, I grilled both of the ladies there about this situation. I wasn't happy when Mark told me, I mean, this is just costing them time. And giving them the wrong information.
That's why I got right back with you, because I could tell it was going to be an issue, that, if your boss wants to move on it, well, great.
Right.
We're all for it,
Yeah.
but you got to go through the.
Your question, is there a way to speed it up with special meetings and stuff?
Yeah.
Not really, per se. I mean, if the application got in quickly and everything on this, it could come to our planning commission
By the 20th.
in our October meeting here. I mean,
If they
Thursday,
bother
the
to get
20th.
it sent out in time.
correct. I mean, if things move right along, yeah, it could be to our planning commission at its October meeting. It could be to this board at our November meeting.
November
So it
4th.
could be at the county meeting for their November.
November meeting,
So I can pick up that special permit.
same place you went to.
I just
Call Justin first thing tomorrow.
Okay.
That would be what I would do, and explain
But
to
I'm
him
just looking at really.
what's happened and what's going on and what we talked to you about, and if he wants to call me, that's fine.
Okay.
But I think he would be,
twice about it, to be honest with you.
wow,
Also.
I think that would help you get things done and
I timed
to
it
know
fast.
what needs to be done, because he does
In
know.
effect.
He's
Okay.
very, very good.
Well,
Okay.
Does he, Mark, does he have your cell phone number or?
yes, yeah, I said, I'll be there.
He has your cell number, see it all.
Okay.
Not
That's
Mark.
what's gonna be.
Oh, we got a sign switch?
You signed a switch.
See, he's got something.
Yep.
I thought you did that
At least
just because
I'm
I was
not Mark Holtz, right?
Let me give you my cell phone.
Yeah, look, here,
I didn't, it's 517-285-5702. I didn't put that on the email, because I really didn't know who you were, Eric. I thought I didn't trust you, I just didn't know you. see.
but you just said it on TV, so now the whole world has it.
Yeah, well, yeah.
As long as the Argus has got it.
Thank you so much. Listen, Darlene,
Is there
nothing to do with it. Not your fault.
can I reach out to you tomorrow and find out what that property that you want to sell that property for?
It's gotta go to the DDA.
I'm doing our DDA meeting on the 18th, but
19.
I can call Brian tomorrow and
Hey,
find
Joe,
out.
it's Joe,
I can-
Joe, it's the 19th, I think.
What, Wednesday?
No, your DDA meeting is the 19th.
No,
It's the
we meet
19th.
on Wednesday.
It's the 19th of
October.
October.
That's the next meeting at 6:30, right? October 19th?
Yeah.
Wednesday?
So what it is the Downtown Development Authority is a separate
Yeah.
body from us. I mean, they're kind of under us, but they're also independent, and they actually own title to the land. So, I mean,
I'm on that board.
Mark is on the board as official, I mean, he's one of the 9 members, but they're all business owners within the district and stuff.
Okay.
But I mean, this board can't set the price or anything, I
Okay.
mean,
That's fine.
they own title to it, so they would have to do it.
That's fine.
Like I said,
That's what we said, you said the 18th.
they,
Thank
you know,
19.
they invested a lot of money cleaning, because it was a gas station, went up for taxes, had leaking underground storage tanks. You know, they cleaned it all up, they did everything, the DEQ signed off on it, you know, with the restrictions and stuff, and I mean, this would just be a perfect use for it.
This is roughly about a 1 acre parcel.
Yeah. Ours,
Yeah, it's 1 acre exactly.
1 acre.
So if you've looked at an aerial or anything of the property you're looking at, it's in that corner,
Okay.
it's the acre that's out of it.
And Justin's working on trying to get city water, the water stops at Dollar General, we're trying to get city water all the way down Bennett Drive and back to the high school, so.
That doesn't apply for what they're doing.
You know,
Yeah.
it'd be nice to have water and
Yeah.
sewer and all that. Anyway, okay. Well, Eric, have we answered some of your questions?
Just
Absolutely,
looking
just
real
giving
quick
me
here.
Justin Norvath is a great help.
Okay,
Oh, yeah, absolutely. You'll like it.
Okay.
You will.
yes. And he knew you were coming at the meeting tonight, so.
Oh, Justin did?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I talk to him about every day.
Okay.
Maybe not every day, but most of it.
Is there any,
As far as, we don't have any restrictions or anything here. The only thing, we would be providing a recommendation on any zoning issues to the county, but we have there's nothing here you have to do for
okay,
Perry Township itself.
so there would be no, like, I don't wanna say fight but there would be like no, disagreement with the township with us putting,
No, I think that the planning commission and the board would both look at that as a favorable development.
You're in the industrial district, right? I
Okay.
mean, and if you wanted to put it next door here, yeah, you might have some problems, but
Sure.
you're in the commercial, that whole corridor's commercial industrial. Lansing Road is a Class A road, it's a designated truck route, I mean,
okay,
you're literally 3 parcels down from where you're at now.
yep,
There's another one on Bennett Drive right there. No, I perceive no problems at all. Now, we can't speak per se,
Right.
but I don't perceive any problems.
I mean, we're proud of our agricultural heritage here. We don't like to see developments that sit in the middle of the field,
you're right,
that kind of thing, you know. We
Striking out.
prefer to have them where they belong, which is what this is.
okay,
Absolutely, this is exactly where it belongs. Perfect thing, and I, on behalf of government in general, I apologize for what they told you at the county. I mean, that's, they're the authority, we're not. I mean, if we were the authority, we would handle it, but I mean,
They're the only say and the final say.
Right.
So,
and we, like I said, we provide recommendations, but we don't,
And they don't always follow those.
and they hardly ever follow, I mean, many times they don't, but, which is why Tom Emery got in this in the first place, because things weren't going according to what wasn't part of the master plan, you know, and so when things get hodgepodged around, you're not following what the board and the people have decided they're gonna use their land for, so.
so any case,
Good.
yes, if you touch base with Justin, and then,
You call
touch
me
base, and if you have any problems, give Mark a call, and he'll get a hold of me too, and between the two, we will make sure, you know,
And I will
We
talk
get
to
this.
Joe Avia, and he's on the DDA board. I will talk to the guy that has a barber shop, Brian, who's also a firefighter, and talk to him about value of the property, so they get a rough idea of what they're thinking.
perhaps send an email out to the DDA board, so they can be thinking about it.
You know, we can do that.
That, you know, this would be something that it could potentially move quickly on,
Okay.
so
Yeah.
they don't daddle.
Any more questions that you have that we can answer?
no, I think I got a great starting point, and I appreciate the information.
Okay. If your boss has any questions, call Troy, call me. or-
Okay. All right,
And like I said, it should just require a special use permit unless there is a, you know, I mean, it is entirely possible it could require rezoning in there if it's, you know, one of the commercials and it needs to be industrial, something like that. Again, that, being it's in the commercial industrial district, that shouldn't be a problem. I mean, that whole corridor in there could be zoned B1, B2, B3, M1, or M2. I mean, that's what it's designated for.
Okay.
So, the only difference is that could add a smidge amount of time to it too.
correct,
So,
understandable.
but we will do what we can, and if you run into any more stumbling blocks like that, please let us know.
Will do, thank
We will
you.
do our best. Okay?
Thank you.
Okay,
Uh-huh.
okay. So,
Good luck.
Thank you.
financial report and pay the bills, Troy.
Okay, so you have in front of you your bills list. So the big thing I have in there is the parking lot bill, which, I mean, is here to be paid, you know.
Is that the original quote?
It is $2,000 less than the original quote because we were able to stockpile so they offered to give us a $2,000 credit if we could stockpile the spoils here, and we were able to negotiate that to take it to the cemetery, and so they were still willing to give us the credit on that. Now, we had some expense with Mike handling it at the cemetery, but we did get all the material. And there was some pretty good gravel in there, and there was some pretty good rotomel in there. So we have those piles at the cemetery, which when time comes to expand the roads again, you know, we've got a bunch of the materials, so pretty good deal. So yeah, it was $2,000 less than the original quote back in February. Of course, they pointed out how materials have all tripled and all that, but they were nice enough not to pass that on, of course, we signed a contract, so.
Right, so, yeah,
Mike is gonna put together pricing to, work on to build some roads back there.
back in there,
Probably something we would consider next year,
sure.
but he was gonna put some pricing together for that.
Okay.
Yeah.
So anyway, going through the rest of the bills, and then we also had our, the coating of the floor and all of that. So, probably next, now that we have for the floor total and the parking lot total, we'll do an amendment next month, and then I'm gonna transfer from the ARPA fund, for that. So far, between the floor and the parking lot, we have spent $211,246.88.
Good.
Let's pay the bills.
Mark has made a motion to pay the bills.
Second.
Butch has seconded the motion. Roll call vote, Kelly.
Mark Foltz?
Yes.
Mark Frazier?
Yes.
Francis Griffith?
Yes.
Shelley Schmidt, yes. Troy Herman?
Yes. Okay, Troy. We got, next on the agenda, correspondence. I did go through the Craig Union open house, and Darlene was there, and we had some local community people that we knew that were there from the township. They had a lot of people there. 12, 14 people from different credit unions, from their organization was there, including the president, the guy with the white beard.
Nice guy.
Retired in April.
That's who we originally met with way
Okay.
before the pandemic started.
Okay, oh, okay.
That's how long we worked on that.
He was there, and so that was good. Any correspondence, Kelly? Any more correspondence, Troy? No. Other than what we'll talk about later, okay. The AMAR thing. Okay, and we talked to Eric. Public comments. Unfinished business. AMAR update. Okay, we had information that come in from the Department of Treasury on AMAR, and Tina got the information, reviewed it, and completed everything she had to complete, and has sent it back to them. They have to have it by October 19th, and they should have it this week. So that is complete.
So basically on the AMAR, there were, in general, things were okay. We got, they don't like our poverty guidelines, which we have further down on the agenda. They say we're too mean.
What do you mean?
Yes.
Okay. Kelly has softened that up for us.
You mean we gotta take the stocks down and
No,
sell our lips?
we'll explain it when we go further down, but we also, there's also a question in there regarding charging a late fee for people who don't file their property transfer affidavit within 45 days. And you either have to have a resolution waiving it, or you need to be strict on charging it. Tina thought we waived it, but we don't, and I really don't want to waive it.
Okay.
So we did get a I'll mark there and, we're gonna start billing those people. So Kyle's gonna give me a list and we're gonna do it, so. Cause we've had some situations in the past where some people have played some games there
Okay,
that I don't like.
okay, so that's, they weren't happy, the state wasn't happy.
Yeah, no, other than that, I mean, there wasn't anything of the big things, we were okay. You know, we don't factor the roll, we don't have parcels on override, we don't, you know, the big picture things were good, so is she preparing a correction plan?
Yes, okay, yes. Okay, so there's that. I wrote parking lot down. Why did I write-
Done,
Huh?
it's done.
Okay, done. Okay, any more unfinished business, Kelly?
Well, I thought you wanted to talk about the fence for the,
Oh, that's on down,
That's
that's
down
on down.
below.
That's on
that's
down.
down below.
Okay, snow removal bids, Kelly.
All right, so I published in the paper on September 20th,
Okay.
requesting a notice to bid for snow plowing for the Township Hall and also down at Rose Elm Cemetery. I received two, one for Holmes Snow Plowing and Lawn Care, and also one for Suggett Construction LLC. They're the ones that did it last year. So I guess we just need to decide which one we want to go with.
What were the prices last year now compared to this year?
Gosh, I don't
Roughly.
know, I didn't look,
Do you remember?
but compared.
This is not drastic, I mean, it's up some.
Is it up
Yeah, I couldn't tell you
I
exactly.
can't remember.
I mean, do I read this, the second guy's giving us a season price?
Yes, but it looks like it's only for the Township Hall. It doesn't include,
Doesn't look like it covers everything.
doesn't include the cemetery.
Doesn't include the cemetery and,
Can we table this and find out if he would give us a price including the cemetery?
This guy, Holmes?
Yeah.
Yes, we'll be getting into November.
First part of November, I don't think we're gonna have.
It could happen,
It's up to you, I don't care.
sure, table it.
just table it, maybe we get another bid if we need to, maybe. That's fine. All right,
We need a clarification from this guy.
yeah.
I mean,
Did
the
you-
season bid, I mean, okay, I mean, those can cut both ways.
Yeah, they can,
You know, I mean,
Begging for this.
you know, but,
We haven't had it
But
last
it's a
year,
number
but,
of plowings too. It's,
well,
you know,
the number of plowings,
pushes.
a snowplow contractor usually figures that his break even is 15 plows a year.
Is that what they say?
And we didn't have 15 last year,
Probably
but
not.
normal winters we do have.
Yeah, and it could be a cold one this, did you advertise this in the paper?
I did,
Yeah, this is all you got?
that's all I got.
see, but I didn't, right, he says in there, it's, you know, a seasonal contract, but then 10 plowing, so if it goes over 10, does that mean he charges extra for it? I mean, that isn't
Well,
clear.
That's why we need to have,
Did we have a bid from them last year?
No,
No, okay. All right,
I mean, the Suggate guy that did it last year was okay, other than he missed us a few times, you know.
well, I know if we call it, they come, you know.
He did come, but there were several mornings we were open, we had 5 inches of snow out here that,
and cars in the way to come in and plow, which is not, yeah.
okay. Well, we shouldn't have a blizzard before then. If we do, I guess
We'll just deal with it. We just deal with it, yeah. Okay, whatever. Okay, so that's that one. Poverty exemption amendment, Kelly.
Okay, so part of our AMAR review, if you looked at, did you guys have this?
Yeah. This-
Oh, yeah.
Okay,
That's what it's for.
so on 5B, that was where we didn't make the cut as far as our poverty exemption. Our clause in there said that the exemption would include to own a footprint of 2.5 acres And that's what we got dinged on. So we removed that. And then on your resolution, page 2 under the asset test, it's number 1. That's what was changed. So the principal residence exemption being claimed in personal property use in connection with the use and occupancy of the principal resident. The applicant will be allowed the homestead parcel in which their home sits. All additional parcels owned will be considered an asset. Now, that was one of the questions that I asked Tina. I said, so if someone has a home sitting on 40 acres, would that be exempt? And she said yes.
As long as it's the same piece.
One parcel that the home sits on.
Right.
Which is exactly why we had this provision in there, because, you know, it doesn't, you know, I mean, we've never had an application on that, but I mean, you could be sitting on an extremely large piece of land, you know, and have very little income, but your land is exempted, so then you would pass this test,
Yeah.
you know, and,
Right.
I mean, I don't particularly like it, but we have to comply with whatever Treasury says on it.
Until next time, I'll have a new one.
Yeah, right, it's just a little frustrating, I mean, that's what we don't like about it, is because you could have a 600-acre piece of land that your house sits on, it's on the same parcel, and you make less than $12,880 a year, and, you know, don't have any other cash assets in over $25,000, you could get your property taxes forgiven.
So,
Yeah, chances are you're not going to meet those other criteria, but it's the principle of the matter.
so resolution number 7-2022, which is the poverty exemption guideline. This would amend our current guideline and replace it with 07-2022. Removing the 2.5 footprint and updating item number 1 of the asset test.
Make a motion, we accept the new updated resolution.
Hey, Mark's made a motion,
Second.
Butch has seconded it. Do we need a roll call vote?
Yeah.
Yeah, Kelly, okay, let's do a roll call vote.
Kelly Schmidt, yes. Troy Parmalee?
Yes.
Mark Foltz?
Yes.
Mark Frazier?
Yes.
Francis Griffin?
Yes.
Okay, thanks, guys. Do I need to sign these down?
We'll get to it.
Later. Okay, audit, Troy. Audit, Troy.
Okay,
Help us understand. our-
so, we have our annual audit that's been completed. I don't know how much of this you want me to go through or talk about.
Any problems?
No, no
How's it compared to
problem.
last year? So,
Fine. Our fund balances have increased.
what they call
What are the-
deficiencies, the same thing as it always are.
Yeah, it's the things they don't like. Yeah, I mean, they're all
There's only 5 of them.
correct.
Okay.
No, there's no other
Easy to work
problems.
with,
Yeah, no, everything was fine. I guess, you know, I mean, it's a good read if you wanna go through it sometime. I mean, I proofread it and stuff before, but I mean, does anyone have any specific questions or anything? And one thing I can throw out, would you like to have someone from Clark, Schaefer, and Hackett just come and talk about it in one of our future months? We need to adopt it, but, you know, just
Just go.
somebody other than me talking about it?
If you want to,
Not necessary.
that's not necessary, but if you want to, that's fine.
I mean, if we had problems or they had a lot of.
If they didn't like something, they'd be here, but no, everything's fine, our fund balances, like I said, have increased some, now a lot of that was the stimulus money, but we also, you know, our
So
overall,
is this our fund balance?
for all combined funds, yes.
Okay. 90.
I mean, that's not just the general fund, that's all.
That's all, okay, okay.
So do we need a motion to pass the
Yes,
audit? Motion.
All right, Butch, you want a second?
Yes.
All right, so Mark made a motion to, accept the audit as presented. Butch seconded. Roll call vote.
yes,
Roll call
Troy
vote.
Parmalee?
yes.
Mark Foltz?
Yes.
Mark Frazier?
Yes.
Francis Griffin?
Yes.
Kelly Schmidt, yes.
Okay, is this the first time they've been with us?
No, this is a firm we've had 3, 4, 5 years maybe now. They used to be called Lane and Richardson, and
That's why.
they were bought, but it's the same people.
Okay, fine. That's what's true. Okay, so Kelly's gonna talk about paying some bill, paying the voting bills or something.
So we, through the state of Michigan, received a grant, $1,500 per precinct for elections.
Okay,
So I have spent a lot of that. But there's a delay. I have to report everything by October 31st.
October 31st.
So, there's a delay though in payment because of the credit card and whatnot, so I want to request us to approve to pay that credit card immediately when we receive it and not wait until our next meeting to do it.
So it's up to $3,000.
It was $3,000.
So if you notice, we've done, some of it's already on, so on your bills list, there's some items under elections, capital outlay, and I put in parentheses after a grant. So it's a reimbursement grant.
Right.
So, I mean, we have to spend it, and then the state reimburses us when we have to, of course, provide proof of the invoice that we got it, and the canceled check
Oh,
that we paid it, and that they've cashed the check, and some of them were on the credit card. So, we have to just show them the credit card statement, and that we paid the credit card bill on it.
So I make a motion, we pay
yes, okay. I'll second that. I'll
the
second.
$3,000 grant, whatever, however.
Is that gonna work, Kelly?
It's just,
It's
what,
basically just,
yeah, right, it's gonna be money flowing in, money flowing out, but what we have to do is, we've gotta pay next month's credit card bill before our November meeting, so we can get everything submitted by.
And it's really just Kelly's, isn't it?
Yes, it's
It's
just
not.
Kelly's.
Kelly's credit card.
it's
Made a
a
motion.
security
I
grant,
second
so
it.
with that, we were able to purchase,
Computer?
cameras, for the absent.
Dropbox.
Dropbox, the absent voter Dropbox. We got a backup laptop. I was able to buy 4 new,
Voting booths.
yep,
Voting
voting booths.
Okay.
I have some security, bags or boxes that we can store, the clerk's election, stuff in.
Perfect.
There are a couple other things too, but
Any new chairs?
no chairs. So that was it. Let's see, did we do a roll call vote on that?
Might as well.
I think you need
I
to.
think we did. Mark Foltz?
Yes.
Mark Frazier?
Yes.
Francis Griffith?
Yes.
Kelly Schmidt, yes. Greg Carnell?
Yes. Okay. Well, as some of you know, our Adam Elsesser sold his business, and also the local Signature Ford has sold. And that dealership will become one from Waterford and Buick Chevrolet dealership, General Motors dealership for used cars. So I got with Adam Elsesser, and I have his resignation letter signed. And today I got with Angie and had her resignation from the DDA board for us to move forward so we can get some more people in there.
There's a guy named Mike, I know his last name. He used to be on the library board representing the city. He lived in the city, he's moved 2 doors from me. And so he's got some experience in government. I can get his contact information from my wife. He, to my mind, would be a good person
Yeah.
to ask if he would like to come
We,
on.
we were talking, I thought I talked to the board too about it also, you know, we may want to try to get somebody from maybe Spartan Fence, you know, somebody in the business, right? They're both
If they
business,
want to.
If they want to.
So, the criteria is 5 of the members have to have an interest in the district. So, whether that means they're a property owner or, employee or manager of a business within it, that's acceptable. So 5, which is a majority of it, have to have an interest in it. Right now, other than you, I think we concluded everyone did, didn't we?
I think so. Except for, yes, yeah, the farmer, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I think they all did. So,
Yeah.
there is some opportunity for some other other people there too. But yeah, so did you get letters from them both?
I did, I did, sorry.
Well, I'll make a motion that we accept the resignations of Adam Elsesser and Angela Felzon from the DDA board.
I'll second it.
And, okay, motion is maybe second, all in favor?
Aye.
Okay, thank you guys, okay. So we can move on that, later. All right, now we come to something that Kelly wanted to put on there, electrical hookup for the camera she got.
So there's 4 security cameras that we
Well,
have.
there's 4.
So we will need to provide an outlet for them to be plugged into. They're Wi-Fi, but the actual camera has to be power fed. So I wanted to put it on this agenda so that we could get moving forward if we decided to do that, right away. So I don't know how much it will cost. I'm gonna ask not to exceed maybe $2,000, but it shouldn't cost that much, I wouldn't think.
Before you got here, I talked to Butch.
Well,
And
That's
he's
okay.
willing to.
Yeah,
are you?
that's fine. So what we were gonna just do is approve it, just in case something comes up, but yes, if we can just handle it, we'll just handle it.
Yes.
Is that okay?
Can we put that in the grant?
No,
Do we still?
not much.
Alright,
So
Well, I
go
mean,
ahead,
use
Troy,
whatever you got left,
What were you
if
saying?
we have to.
oh, I was just asking.
Oh, that's part of it.
I mean, you're gonna have to buy some materials.
I think what we can do, Butch, is tie into the exit light there.
I'll just take a look at what everything you got and then we'll go from there.
Yeah, okay.
So, I'll make a motion that in the event that as an alternative, if we cannot do it and handle it internally, we spend up to $2,000 on cameras.
Okay, I'll second that.
What,
Not to exceed 2,000.
what's the locations gonna be for the camera?
The Dropbox.
Oh, wait, let's do a roll call vote and then we'll talk about
Oh,
that.
okay, motion been made and seconded, roll call vote.
Francis Griffith,
Yes,
Kelly Schmidt, yes, Roy Parmalee,
Yes.
Mark Foltz,
Yes,
Mark Frazier.
Yes.
So part of the laws that will probably be coming down the pike, the drop box outside has to have one. The box on the inside that people get into to take the mail out will probably need one. But I couldn't find a security camera system that only had 1 or 2 cameras, so I have 4. And Alvin next door says a lot of riffraff happens around here
oh.
when we're
yeah.
not here.
Yeah, he does.
And
say that.
so we thought maybe putting them on the corners of the buildings.
That's good,
Okay.
that's a good
So you
idea.
don't wanna put any in here for during election day?
you can't have them
No, you
anywhere
can't
near
have
the
that.
bathrooms.
Oh,
We can't have
okay.
that in.
Tell you that right now.
Yeah, but this room isn't near the bathroom.
No.
So you can't have them here during election day.
No.
Right.
That makes sense.
Ironically, you can't,
That makes
we
sense,
have to
yeah.
survey
Yeah,
the
that
drop
makes
box
sense.
for the ballots,
Yeah,
but we
but you
can't
can't
survey
survey
the
the
polling
voting
place.
So I thought maybe putting them on
Only in America.
the 2 ends of the building or one up here and one back, I don't know. We'll talk about it some more, but
I mean, obviously, if you watch the news, drop boxes are a bit of a flashpoint in our democracy these days, so.
Well,
We of course had a drop box here for predating all of our times here, but I mean, it's, ours is unique, it's secure, it's part of the building, it comes into the building,
that was,
I think these ones where they put them out in the middle of
I
a
know.
parking lot that you could open with a paper clip, I think that's not a good
Or
idea.
tie a chain on it, drag it out.
Right, but I mean, what we have works well, and
Sure.
so one of the things that the grant bought, we had to put signage up. And so I did that, I bought a sign for that. It's about almost $100 to do that, so.
well, you should be able to get power where the lights are.
correct, the exit light's right there and the outside, so it shouldn't be a big deal.
Yeah, you should be able to just extend the box out or whatever.
Okay, Butch, look at it.
Yep,
I'm sure Butch knows more than I do about that.
Okay,
all
Kelly,
right,
is that good?
that's good.
That's good? Okay, so there's that. We got one last thing, and this is the air conditioner units that are together.
Should we add a bunch of stuff to the agenda?
There we go.
Yes.
Okay. My agenda doesn't have any of this stuff. That's fine, okay.
The AC enclosure, Butch.
Yeah. That, what we was talking about with that plastic
Yeah.
for the cost of what it is, it's so damn flimsy, it'd be good, you know, for on the floor. Because you only got 2 foot. You're
Okay.
talking 10 foot out there.
Yeah, right.
Somebody just leans on it,
It's gonna break.
it's gonna break.
The
My
Trex
suggestion is,
kind of stuff, the 5/4 planking type,
you know how
synthetic
flimsy
wood?
it is?
really?
Got a 10-foot span.
Okay.
My suggestion is take a 4x4 in between them. It's solid,
It'll be done. Paint it.
and that's, you can either paint it or
Stain
get
it.
the treated wood and then just stain it, whatever you want to do.
Here's a suggestion. Could we ask the county if they have any guardrail?
You know, guardrail? Okay.
I don't know why they can't, I mean, we could, I don't know that they would, I mean,
But I mean, just before we go by the 4x4, the 4x4 is fine. But when somebody pulls in with a vehicle, which is what we're trying to protect to,
Yeah, what we have out there isn't gonna protect it.
No.
It's that plastic.
this is more of a, for aesthetics
Just
than it is protection.
okay, then just get the 4x4.
Yeah, we'll do it, which I think so.
So
So,
I'm talking roughly around 100, I
So
think.
make the motion.
200, how's 200?
Yeah, so make the motion for 200.
We'll make a motion for not to exceed $250 for, we may want to paint it, that's $40 per gallon of stain or whatever. 300. I'll make a motion not to exceed 300.
300.
No, 200 more.
250, okay, 250 for,
It's only gonna cost around
Who-
You guys can do
Who will second
500
that?
without board approval.
Oh, you
Okay,
can-
yeah, that's fine.
okay,
200,
second,
250?
250.
Okay.
I'll second it.
Good, okay, and then Mark seconded, all in favor, roll call vote, Kelly, on that sucker.
Mark Frazier,
Yes.
Francis Griffin,
Yes.
Kelly Schmidt, yes, Ray Farley,
Yes.
Jeff Foltz,
Yes.
okay.
Okay. Is there any other questions or comments from board? Going once, going twice, all right? Okay, we are done
I'd
at
like to adjourn.
8:15 PM.
Who's second in that?